Nevis, Tagliani, and Briscoe. Versus welcomes you back to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course, and there is the layout of this facility here, which is about 50 miles north of Columbus, and it isn't all that far from Cleveland. We're about, I guess, midway between. It's a beautiful facility, and we have completed 69 of 85 laps of our IZOD IndyCar Series race here this afternoon. Dario Franchitti is the leader of the race, and there you can see his finishes on road courses this year, with Toronto being his best finish, a second. Right now, he has the advantage on Will Power, Castro Nevis, Tagliani, and Briscoe, with Dixon, De Silvestro, Andretti, Matos, and Baguette completing the top 10, Jack.
Hey, guys, help me out. Dario Franchitti, left foot brake or right foot brake?
Right.
Hey, guess who's in second? Will Power, left foot brake. It'll be a classic confrontation of styles on this start and the rest of the race. Fun to watch.
And the disadvantage that Will Power told you, Jack, was that he used a little more fuel, but because of these cautions, you don't care.
Yep.
So, nice even playing field.
And we know how blistering fast Power has been in qualifying and all the poles that he's had this year. But, you know, now it comes to racing. It's one thing to be fast, but it's another thing to set somebody up and get by him and pass him. Just because you could be faster is one thing, but getting by him's a whole nother deal. You really got to get in his head.
Season performance from Target Chip Ganassi drivers, Franchitti and Dixon. Dixon with 2 wins this year. Dario will come off corner number 13 and take the green flag to get us back under racing conditions.
So I think that something we just need to look for is how guys are putting the power down off the keyhole, is who kept their tires clean and scrubbed. So when you do go to the power coming off the keyhole here, who's setting themselves up to make a good run and a pass as you get down into turn 4?
On board with Elio in third.
On board with Elio. Of the top 5 guys, he's the only one on the black sidewalls.
2 leaders were on the overtake, and looked like Power thought about it. He moved his car just a little to the right.
What a stout run there for Tagliani. And what a great move they made by that sequence of pit stops. A little bit of luck.
Look at that, though, side by side. That was Dixon and Briscoe. And Dixon got the better of Briscoe.
Okay, Simona now, come on, pounce. Who's right behind him. I mean, you know, you got to take that momentum. When that guy in front of you loses momentum, get right there.
Dixon jumps to 5th. See if Simona will have passing in mind coming down here into turn number 2.
And again, there's Marco Andretti still behind Simona and still doing the same thing, just tucking out. I'm still here. Now, we also saw that pass by Rafa Matos into corner 6. It was like looking. Simona's doing exactly that. Just kind of popped out on Briscoe. Wasn't up alongside enough, but just let him know I'm ready.
In fact, Matos just used his overtake, and he wasn't really that close at that point behind Marco, so he must have done that to keep Baguette behind him.
Well, that's what I say, is I just wanted, since that worked so well for Matos that one time, was he going to look and try and do it again? Didn't work. Or I shouldn't say that. He just wasn't close enough to make it clean. There you go.
Still have 21 cars on the lead lap here of the 27 that started, and 4 are out of the race. As you can see at the top of your screen.
Well, I tell you, Dixon is racy. He's closing in really quickly on the back of Tagliani. And man, look at this snake and how many people are getting off in the dirt on exit of turn 1.
Go back to the restart. just off of turn number 1.
Closer.
We saw some dirt kicked up, and now we know where it came from.
And that's right there. That shot of watching the. Woo! Look at that. You see Graham Rahal pinch that thing off and lay rubber.
Yeah.
Well, because you're like, what's behind that cloud of dirt?
But that visual of coming to this racetrack and watching Matos behind Marco. So somewhere in there, like I said, we knew he was coming.
Yeah.
He made it stick.
Matos to 8th.
He's in the number 2 car, a little right there. Silver and blue and black.
And he's
HP.
now right behind Simona. And Marco Andretti is under fire somewhat from Bertrand Baguette. Here's the pass.
There you got Rafa down the inside very cleanly. There's the 4-3-2 board as you come into that passing zone where you say, hey, if you're not attempting to pass somebody, you better be on the left-hand side of the racetrack, as Marco was. Ooh, there he's sticking his nose in.
Yeah.
But be patient. Now's the time to do it. Get a good shot off of the keyhole so you can get it done down in turn 4.
I wanted to talk about Rafa Matos. I sat down with Gilles DeFerrin as well as Jay Penske in Edmonton. And talking with them, I mean, you could tell how pumped they were, how much they were building forward, because they are a new team. And they say, yeah, they make mistakes, but they're making smaller mistakes. So that gives them more opportunity to move forward. So a brand new team, a very good driver, and now you're seeing what can happen when they can put 2 and 2 together. They've got one heck of a race car, a fast driver, and they're moving up the field.
DeFerrin Dragon Racing, and the chauffeur is Rafa Matos, and his last 3 finishes, a 4th at Watkins Glen. 12 laps to go at Mid-Ohio. Welcome back to Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course. Bob Jenkins, Robbie Buell, Jan Beekes in the booth, and Jack Arute, Robbie Floyd, and Lindy Thaxton down on pit lane. And Franchitti continues to lead this race over Will Power by, well, that much, just about a second, as Team Penske runs 2nd and 3rd. Ryan Briscoe is back in 6th. Between Castro Neves and Briscoe are Alex Tagliani and Scott Hickson.
Interesting to compare these 2 cars. Obviously, one of the Penske cars being Will Power on the red alternates right behind Castro Neves on the black. Certainly by the speed we've seen from Franchitti, Castro Neves doing a great job hanging in there on the blacks.
But again, this is still one trade, you know, depending on who you talk to, there was not as much disparity between those 2 as we do go through this race on picking your tire choices.
Hey guys, we're down to the final handful of laps, right? When you take a look and analyze the number of overtakes, so still remaining for Dario Franchitti, Will Power, and Helio Castroneves, they've got enough to be able to use the overtake at least once in every remaining lap. Could be a little interesting there. Now, what about Alex Tagliani in 4th? Well, unfortunately, he's a little shorter in that department.
Rafael Matos, that we watched move up to 7th position, has exhausted his overtake assists. He has none left.
But he got the positions out of it. So
yeah, exactly.
He was assisted in overtaking.
Yep.
And Dixon definitely looks as though he's going to have something here for Tagliani before we get to the end of this thing.
Yeah.
He's definitely one guy that I think we want to see what he's got.
Dixon is right on the rear wing of Tagliani.
Now, the difference, again, coming to the reds and the blacks. Dixon's on blacks. Tags is on reds. The Firestone Reds historically have a little bit more bite in the rear tires. So does that allow Tagliani to get to the power sooner as you come off there?
Hunter-Reay and Baguette.
He's got it.
This is for 10th. Hunter-Reay takes it.
And that is the opportunity that this blocking rule in place creates, that kind of passing. You can't be on the right-hand side of that racetrack unless you're trying to pass somebody.
What a drive for Ryan Hunter-Reay, who had bent suspension. They changed it, got him back out there, and he has moved up to the top 10.
So what you take away from that is no matter what happens, whatever, never give up. And look at his right hand. You can just see how hot and how much he's working that car. You can see the sweat that's come through the leather on his right hand there. That's how much you're working.